Final round. Missed question corrections. Part 1. Overcurrent and load protection ratings. Having one or more arc welders fed from conductors, must have overcurrent protection set not more than 200%. Conductors which supply one or more arc welders, overcurrent set at 200% max. Max ampere rating of 200%, on conductors feeding one or more arc welders. Conductors feed one or more arc welder, max overcurrent rating, 200% amp rating. Thermal overload protection rated at what percent? Full load of motor with 40 degrees Celsius max. 125%. Thermal overload motor, 40 degrees Celsius max, 125% full load. Thermal overload, 125% max, motor 40 degrees Celsius max. 600 volt motor, needs a disconnect rated, 115%, of full load. 600 volt motor, needs disconnect rated 115%. 600 volt motor, 115% rated disconnect. Max motor rating on dedicated circuit, 80%. Motor max rating, dedicated circuit, 80%. Max motor rating, circuit sharing loads, 50%. Motor max rating, shared loads, 50%. Service conductors protected if breakers has rating of 6 times the ampacity of the trip setting. Service conductors protected if breakers has rating of 6 times the ampacity of the trip setting. Calculate main breaker load is load plus 125%. Main breaker rated at load plus 125%. What does a motor with overcurrent and thermal protector trip on and off? Not enough load. Motor with overcurrent and thermal protection trips on and off because of not enough load. With cutout of 200F on limit control, what is cut in? 175F. What is secondary cutout? 145F. Cutout at 200F, cut in is 175F. With cutout of 200F on limit control, what is cut in? 175F. What is secondary cutout? 145F. Cutout at 200F, cut in is 175F. Motor is protected against short circuit, ground fault instant trip breaker, part of combination controller, having overload and short circuit rating in each conductor. Setting of instant trip breaker, may not exceed full current load by 1300% max. Instant trip breaker, max setting of 1300% full current. Instant trip breaker, 1300% max, full current. Max rating of a 4" by ½ inch bus bar is 2000 amps. 4" by ½ inch bus bar, 2000 amps max. Half of 4 is 2, 4 by ½ inch bus bar, 2000 amps. Each continuous duty motor of 1 horsepower, not permanent install or auto started within sight of controller, shall be protected against branch circuit overcurrent. Duty motor, 1 HP, not permanent or auto start, must have branch circuit overcurrent protection. If disconnect not visible by operator, machine must be marked overcurrent provided at supply terminals. No visible disco for operator, mark machine overcurrent provided at supply terminals. Thermal overload of polyphase induction motor, protects motor against sustained overload. Polyphase induction, thermal overload protects against sustained overload. Motor controlled branch circuit, 2300 volt motor has continuous amp rating of trip setting of overload protection device. Motor controlled branch circuit, 2300 volt motor has continuous amp rating of trip setting of overload protection device. Max number of breakers in one branch circuit panel is 42. 42 max breakers in branch panel. Fixed electric heater loads rated at 100% of connected load. Fixed heater, rated at 100% of load. Fixed heater, rated load, 100%. Max voltage drop allowed on 120 volt line, 6 volt drop, 114 volt remainder. Max allowed volt drop, 120 volt line, 6 max, 114 volt remainder. Max allowed volt drop of 100 feet of number 12 wire at 10 amps, 1.62 volts. 12 wire over 100 feet at 10 amps, max volt drop, 1.62 volts. 12 gauge runs over longer distances. Number 12 wire has higher current than number 14 wire. Max allowed volt drop of number 8 at 70 amps. 4.5 volts every 100 feet. Max volt drop, number 8 at 70 amps, 4.5 volts, every 100 feet. Max breakers in residential panel, 42. Max breakers in commercial panel, 14. Max breakers in residential panel, 42. Max breakers in commercial panel, 14.